Yeah. Cito lazy, here. With the Unk files, I guess I'll call it. This is the Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, and I will be talking about the game. But let's talk about some things about me first. Although I will mention, you get to pick characters here. This isn't the first mission. I'll explain why later. But yeah, you pick your little characters, your little doodads, whatever they do, and it's nice, A little strategy. It's quite impressive how much strategy this game has with how early on it is. But again, we'll talk about a lot of the game later, except when it comes up, because this is me not playing right now. This is a video, as you can see. It's a bit of a commentary over. And that leads to the first thing I wanted to tell you about this. And what that was when I recorded this, I had, not too long ago, just gotten a chicken bone stuck in my throat. And you might be wondering, oh shit. And you might be wondering things about that, Oh god, oh no, how'd that happen, blah blah blah. What's apparent is, it's still in my throat, I think. I say I think, because I don't really feel it right now, but I felt it like an hour ago. Never mind, I feel it. Yeah, it's in my, I guess it's more appropriate to say esophagus. Oh yeah, this chapter 4 is a story. You can fucking rewind and read it, if you care. I am reading it when I was recording it, but yeah. So there's a little story with that. Oh, I guess I should explain how it happened. Yeah, I was just, ate a piece of chicken. I don't know why I didn't chew it enough to see if there was a bone. Maybe it was more of a softer bone. Maybe it ended up being cartilage. I don't know exactly what's in my esophagus, to be honest with you, but, it's there. And I still feel it. And, yes, that means yesterday when I streamed, I, in fact, was streaming with that in my throat. Yeah. And, shout out to Daisy here. We're talking... Okay, where is it? And look at her messages. And so about an hour or two before she texts me, concerned about me. Very nice. W Daisy. W lead moderator. I guess if this reaches people who don't know, Daisy's indeed my lead moderator on Twitch, and she goes, I'm not gonna read it word for word, but not only is she talking to me about her concern for me, but she's also talking about doing small jobs for money for me. I'll leave that to Daisy to explain. I think it's actually better that way. And if I'm being nefarious about it, oh yeah, here's combat, by the way. If I'm being a bit nefarious, that's actually good for me if she leaves a comment and you guys respond to her and give likes, because that's good for the algorithm. So I'll let you guys do that, Daisy down there. But yeah, so yeah, I have to be like, I'm okay, smiley face. I mean, I do explain I need help, but as you guys have read in the Discord server, you have read it, that is. But yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious to me. It was bad, guys. When I first felt it in my throat, my esophagus, and it didn't go all the way down. It was I don't know how to word it. It was, you could tell something was wrong, and my head started to fizzle, I guess. I lost a little, I went a little white in the face, realizing what's happening. I actually initially couldn't breathe well at first. I'm okay as far as I can tell. I mean, it happened 2 or 3 days ago. I'm sleeping with it in my throat, my esophagus. It goes you can tell I can't go down the hole, but I can feel at the very top, or I guess the top of my stomach. At the bottom of the esophagus, it goes as far as my throat. It just goes up and down as it feels like at this point. I'll be real with you. Don't miss it. Here's a little tutorial, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, that's the little TLDR there for you guys. People who clicked on this video, I think you can... Or people who clicked on this video where I'm probably going to announce, hey, listen to the first 5 minutes. This is why, yeah. And now, if you were willing to stick around for at least another 5, I would like to explain why I think this game is has good chance to be good content, especially edited, to show all the best and worst moments. So, if you've never seen a game like this before, I think the simplest way to put it is this is one of the oldest ideas and concepts of basically what Baldur's Gate does. Baldur's Gate 3, where like it's turn-based and each unit can move, and each unit has their own individual stat to move on the map. And terrain can affect it and stuff. I've actually never really watched someone who's playing Baldur's Gate 3. You probably know more than me. Don't assume too much of the comparison, because you can figure out yourself. But the reason this is interesting to me for content is the reasons that show this game's age in both a good and bad way. And you will see about 20-30 minutes in what I'm doing to exploit that. Now, first, I want to mention this is also permadeath. Oh, I'm speeding up the game here. Hopefully the audio is not too annoying to hear. But, yeah, so it's permadeath. But you get to save at the start of every chapter. But if you look at how long I spent in this chapter, yeah, an hour and 28 minutes. That's not really something to scoff at if you're an hour in and someone dies, you know? I am playing the Retro Achievement set, which has, I think, 108 achievements. Or is it 128? I'm gonna lowball and say 108 in case I'm wrong. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to level up low-level units to prepare for the future fucking course. This is actually the first time I've ever played a Fire Emblem game. Well, this is my first Fire Emblem game, to be more exact. I've tried to beat this game twice, and both times I failed. I actually have a manual, like the official manual, to help me out, released for the 30th anniversary, but we'll get to that later. Let's finally talk about why this game, the bad parts about this game. So, there's a building here. Ignore the mouse on the right. That is not my mouse. That's the recorded mouse. Okay, so this building right here, I'm not trying not to pause, because this is already long enough. There's this building over here, between the trees, and this, like, little island, I guess? Right, I guess there's a more appropriate word for, like, an island in the middle of a lake, where that lake is, like, in the middle of already an island. I don't know what you would call that, but there's a more proper word for that. But this building up here is an arena. And I'll point it out when I can, when it pops up, but an arena is intended for you to grind XP. I have heard that the arena, and money, by the way, I apologize, money, is different in this game. It's the only Fire Emblem game where this works, apparently. Maybe it works the same in, like, higher difficulties, but in every other game, question mark, you go in, you fight, you get your money, you get your XP if you win. If you lose, I think there's an entry fee. You lose your money, and that's about it. There is weapon durability in this game, which I'll look in the menu when I try to attack someone. You'll see like a number next to a word. Yeah. So maybe it also goes down in future Fire Emblem games, durability, I don't know. But in this game, the scary part is, if you lose a fight, lose all your HP. In future games, they come back out, you know, maybe 1 HP, you have to heal them, I'm not sure. Again, I haven't played them. But in this game, you die. You die. So the place where you're intended to grind, which, if you can tell from the stage layout, is literally the end here. You have to beat everyone up. You basically have to complete the entire chapter. And then before, like, doing the last task, which is to, like, take over the castle or whatever, which literally Once you beat the monster, requires to just select it. That's it. You go to then grind. And then you just die. And that's, to me, has potential for good content. Again, in an edited video on the Cito channel. Because I will rage very hard. I will be incredibly fucking mad. I cannot overstate how much time can be wasted and how each choice will be chosen by me. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say the max level for a character is 20 and you can, like, evolve them as well. You need, like, items and shit to do that. Imagine I finish 2 characters level 20, which is a great feat on its own. How would I get there without dying? Do I get greedy again and go for the 3rd? Do you know what I mean? And if I do, that's my fault if it dies, right? It's very scary. Yeah. But yeah, the next stupid thing I want to talk about in this game, will have to show up, but I guess I'll talk about it in a different way. So, the directly up, left, down, and right is considered 1 tile away, obviously. But, like, the corners, I can't remember the word exactly right now, is it diagonal? Like, upright is considered 2 tiles away. So even though, like, it looks like these 2 people here on the left, even though it looks like they're right next to each other, it's considered 2 tiles away. This is important because the people with the projectiles, any projectile attack, I think, so far I've seen, like, throwing hammers, which is crazy, by the way, and shooting bows, you have to be 2 tiles away, or rather, specifically, the weapon they're using has to be. So keep that in mind, that's important later. I think it's finally time to introduce this game's details, because we're at the point where, like, nothing's happening, and excuse the speed-ups. Oh, actually, I'll say one more thing for the people who are not too interested about this game, but want to hear the funny things from me, of fucking course. Which, again, that's I'm telling everyone to come to the beginning of the video to hear those. Oops, sorry. I said this, Cito Lazysino is for low-effort content, and the irony of this is, again, I recorded it while there was, I'm sustaining an injury, which I wouldn't really call it that, but yeah, there's a fucking thing stuck in my throat. It's not supposed to be there. B, now I'm having to commentate over it. This is already harder than a stream, in terms of, not harder, but more time is spent in an hour of a stream versus an hour in a video. I will be talking over this entire hour 26 seconds, so I'm putting more effort in this 1:28:26 than I would in a stream 1:28:26. And then, I also edited this video. You can't tell, but I did. I edited out like 10 minutes worth of things. And again, this is supposed to be lazy, but I learned how to edit to do this. It's the first time I've ever used DaVinci Resolve, ever, in my life. And, by the way, there's a chance I get called over by my grandmother, or my mother needs something. And I have to edit this again. We'll see. I think that's it. If you want to hear me speak a line of Japanese, besides that, oh, and the thing about projectiles being 2 tiles away, that's gonna come up, that's funny as well. Besides that, I don't think there's much else to say. You can recruit people, I forgot about that. I brought this specific character named Lena, and the game's trying to tell me, like, this enemy is special. He even had, like, a special portrait there, I'm sure you saw. Yeah, like which is a big deal. This is on the Famicom, or the family computer, which is, in case you don't know, I know this is the UNC file, so I do have to explain. The Famicom is Japanese console that is like the equivalent to the rest of the world's NES, or the Nintendo Entertainment System. I guess it's more appropriate to call it the Nintendo family computer. If you ever heard unks be like, the Nintendo Wii, like every time you hear them talking about the Wii, they like say Nintendo Wii, but that's the reason. Because, I suppose it just felt more right to do it, right? Like the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then there's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or the SNES, right? So it's like, it's funny, because no one fucking calls it Nintendo Wii besides the unks. Because obviously it's Nintendo, too, as well. And that's what they do. If you ever wondered that, I mean, I can't say for certain that's why people do it, but logically, it just makes sense, right? It's a habit grown, and it's a logical one, too, to be fair. To be fair to the unks out there, if you've ever insulted them for calling it the Nintendo Wii, or the Nintendo 3DS, or the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo Switch 2, you know, that's why. Yeah, this is, as I said, the first Fire Emblem game, originally promoted, as just Fire Emblem. But at one point, I don't know if this changed before the game released, or like after new Fire Emblem games came out, and they went back and changed it. But the full name now is Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Wow. I might edit these names here on screen. But, okay. I did say I had to be right back at one point. Here we go. I knew it. I'll be back. Came back. What was I saying? Oh, let's play this. Oh, here's me recruiting. Where this fucking guy is, I already forgot. Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. Yeah, I already said that. But, in case you don't know, Nintendo right now is a horrible company. They keep doing this weird shit where, like, they make exclusivity. Like, there was, like, a Mario Anniversary game that came out where, like, you only had so much time to purchase it online, and then just, you wouldn't be able to purchase it. And they did the same for the first Fire Emblem game. And this is a bigger deal for Fire Emblem, because the first Fire Emblem game never, ever became, until then, never had an official English release, a worldwide release. So, for an anniversary for Fire Emblem, they released it digitally from December 4th, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. And as someone who always wanted to get into the series, and at that time was saying, I'm really hoping they translate it and I can get the game. I didn't have a Switch at the time, and I missed out on that window, and I still have that hate, that pain that happened then. Did I just see my character do 1 damage? Okay, W. So even though it's cringe, I don't really see much point in pronouncing it in the English way, because I'm not playing, like, I am playing an English copy, which I want to mention. This is a fan translation, which, the intent was to have, translations similar to how translations were done in the past. So a bit of, let's say inaccuracies. What some people have said, English, if you want. I think even the official translator said, under that description. Well, yeah, it's, I'm gonna cry if I say this wrong. The Japanese name is, God, here we go. Fire Embubremu, Ankoku Ryu to Hikari no Ken. Which is actually directly translated to Fire Emblem Dark Dragon and the Sword of Light. So not Shadow Dragon and not Blade of Light, which is a small difference. But now that I've gone the Unk description out of the way, and I'll try to provide some details in the descriptions ahead of time. I can finally talk about what's gonna happen here. Although I don't know how much longer this is gonna be. Well, I can talk about one more thing. So you can see those houses with like the triangle roofs. This game is difficult to get to. Any really old game that has a bit of freedom like this is a bit difficult to get into. I mean, a lot of the culture and intent behind it back then was like, read the manual. You know, like there's buildings here in the bottom right where we first spawned in. They like that do different things, and like you just don't know what they do unless you interact with them or read the manual. And then if you don't memorize it, then, well, you'll have to figure it out again or read the manual again. These white buildings are passive healing. Here, so I talked to this house here. The house with like the walls and like a little compartment to the left, and then the houses that don't have the walls and the little compartment, they act the same way, mostly. I think thieves, the only difference is enemy thieves can rob the walled houses. Besides that, everything's the same. Now, one just miserable, well, depending on who you are, but it can be miserable thing about this game is, first of all, you're like, oh, I'm a Fire Emblem fan, I want to try the first one, and then you don't find the manual, which is hard enough to find. And it's not actually that hard, but like, it's a hoop to jump that, like, if you're gonna struggle with old games, then you're probably gonna struggle with finding the manual. You know what I mean? And you just don't really know what you're doing. But these houses that I keep mentioning, the triangle houses, give random dialogues. You have no idea what they're gonna tell you. You could talk to it, and it could be as simple as, "Be careful out there, Marth." Which, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you played Super Smash Bros. This is Marth. This, yeah, all the way back in, oh my god, I did not check the release date. I fucking forgot to. Okay, I'll search up my phone. I'm not gonna just tab out, but I think having the game on screen the whole time is better. What was I saying? Oh. Another thing they can talk about, and especially in the early stages, is tutorials. They, like, literally tell you how the game works. Now, again, this is Chapter 4, and I just had a tutorial house near the spawn. If you want to rewind, I'm not doing that shit. You got me fucked up. This is supposed to be Lazysino here. Where it tells you the differences between, like, the qualities of weapons, and, like, they're supposed to be better and shit. Like, and that's a bit self-explanatory for, you know, us gamers now, but back then, yeah, maybe not the most self-explanatory, right? The other shit is like story beats or like story lore. Like I talked to this house here that everyone's next to, and it told me some like lore thing. I think, I'm not really sure, but I already forgot. I read it as it came up here. And then another thing they can also do is you can find recruits. Yes, you can find recruits here. So, I haven't beaten the game, but if I remember correctly, I think I have heard every single character still alive gets like a little line at the end saying like what happens after they live. So, of course I'm fucking interested in that, right? Here's a healer here on the right. I just healed my teammate. Important conversation piece later. Keep that in mind. I forgot about that. That is another fucking scuffed thing about this game. Shit. What was I saying? Keep it in post. Huh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, the little lines at the end. That's dope, man. It really is, especially for a game. I have the date. April 20th, 1990. Especially for a game back then, you know? Like, most stories back then were told in, like, manuals. You know, or like if you're in the arcade, there's like a fucking little, like there's like a piece of, maybe as big as like a movie poster, on the cabinet or next to the cabinet, like giving you the story. Like that's about it. You know, it's really low info. So when NES came out, like we're at the time where like stories start getting implemented more. So it's like, I don't know, on one hand it's really fucking cool to be like going around trying to like piece together things. We still have things like that. We still have stories where it's like not just given to you to face. Like Elden Ring, you know, like the FromSoft games, and just any story that doesn't want to just tell you shit upright. It's still being implemented now. That same intrigue, or the same reason this is intriguing, is the same reason those are intriguing. It's just, it's funny because it was just the circumstances of the time, mostly. So, I can now talk about the priest, or whatever they're called in this game, the cleric, and what I'm planning to do with them. So, again, this is what I've heard. In every Fire Emblem game post the first one, apparently. If not the second, maybe like the third or fourth, they start implementing this. When you heal with your cleric, they gain XP. Right? That is not how this works in this game. So what do you think? Possibly. How it would work in this game. Go ahead and think about that. I'll let you think about it. Not for too long, but long enough for maybe you can type a response in the comment. You know, put a timestamp too. You know, because I'm gonna be real. I'm probably gonna forget what the fuck I said during this. What was I saying? Oh. So, there's a tactic I'd like to use, because remember, XP is a finite resource if you're not willing to risk it in the arena. I learned that the hard way, both because I didn't use the arena, and then, I distributed my XP badly, and also because I used the arena on my second playthrough attempt, and, yeah, let's just say it hurt. I lost some people, and I didn't restart. So, what the tech I'm talking about is projectile enemies. You can, like, kind of, like, surround them, from one space, like, surrounding them from one space, because remember, they can only shoot 2 spaces away. So if I left this cleric here, and then had someone go to the left, and then had someone go to the top, I think no one would be able to move. I think. I could be wrong about that. But I didn't want him there. I want to trap him exactly where he just went, and that's because under this horseman right here, you see this white building, I mentioned it before already, standing on this tile is passive healing. And if you have thought of the correct answer as of yet, or rather at this point, congratulations. If you didn't, here we go. You're gonna hear the answer. In order to upgrade, to get any XP for clerics, they have to get hit. Or rather, specifically, they have to get attacked. Yes, so your clerics, the healers, that typically are more squishy to balance them in these type of games, they have to be fucking attacked. So, I'm going to grind this cleric here from her level all the way to max level. And if you figure it out, and you're a bit of an astute observer, there's another hour left here, and that is the reason. And I'm sure you've noticed, I'm using speed up to speed up the game. Can you imagine doing this on actual hardware? Or if, in case you're unaware of retro achievements. Overhitting my mic. Retro achievements has 2 versions to progress, and it's softcore and hardcore. Hardcore allows you to use no save states or cheats or literally any other emulation tools besides like making the game run better or look better, and the one exception is to fast forward the game. I have actually done this same exact thing, but with no speed up, in this same exact playthrough. When I started to play this game, I finally explained this. I started to play this game back in around August of last year, so I didn't record it. This is why we're on chapter 4. And why you missed the first 3 chapters. Now, probably, you know, this is usually probably directed mostly to Mr. Blamo. I'm not sure how many other people are watching, at least from the usual crowd. I might have some new unks in I was gonna say the chat, but in the movie, the cinema seat. But yeah, Arrow, probably you'll see me play the first 3 chapters, because if I understand the wording correctly, when retro achievements mention an achievement, when they word it specifically in one sitting, okay? Those 3 words back to back in one sitting, that typically means turning on the video game, starting the game, not a save file, starting the game, and then in one sitting, go to the point of where they're talking about in the achievement, and then do that goal. And I think it's either 19 or like 20, like 2021. They want you to do in one sitting, go to that achievement, and then do that thing that the achievement wants you to do. And it's even crazier because when, again, you can save before you start a chapter, and in order to load that save, I believe you have to restart the game, meaning I can't save scum. I have to play all the way to chapter 19, question mark. It's definitely 19 or above, and there's 25 chapters in this game, also question mark. Again, I'm not really sure, but yeah. That's the insane part. You're probably gonna see me do the first 3 chapters multiple times, frankly. So yeah, there's your concern out of the way. Oh, this guy's a pirate. He can walk over water. And then Cito over here, the bottom left, Pegasus Rider, what the fuck it is. She can also go over water, and like mountain tiles and shit, which you'll see later. But I forgot to mention, I think I did mention it, but I didn't specifically point it out. Marth in this game with the translation patch of its trying to replicate the era. It's called Mars in this game. So there's Mars. A wagon wheel. You want a wagon wheel? Can you do that? Okay, Alright, what was I saying? Oh. Okay, so we've reached the point of grinding. I mean, there's some more enemies in the top left here. There's this house here I think I can recruit someone with Mars. There's another house up here next to the arena I haven't spoke to. Remember, we have to read every house, so fucking course. Come on now. Oh, I also forgot to mention this. I think it was Navarra I recruited with, I don't know, some woman. I can't remember the name. You can only recruit him with her. And then there's somewhere like Mars has to go to the house. not anyone else, to recruit people or like get money. I forgot to mention that. You can get like free items and cash sometimes from houses. Again, you have no idea. It is the same every time though. I don't think there's any RNG houses. Look at this damage here. That's 8 damage. Okay. For HP is 16. Okay. There's critical hits in this game. I believe critical hits are double damage. So, every time... This is a risk here. This was tense, okay? Like, I am... Remember, there's a chicken bone stuck in my fucking throat here. So I'm tensing every time he gets attacked. I'm praying with my whole soul that she does not get crit. And then I have to restart at this point 35 minutes. And the longer this video goes on, the more that stress gets. Yeah, I think you can understand how stressful this is. But I'll have to mention, I think I've mentioned it, but I probably did, I don't know. These passive healing tiles has RNG healing. I think it's like 1 HP to 8 HP. No, 10 HP? 9 HP? I'm not sure actually. I think the lowest is 1. So I actually don't know when the cleric here gets max level. I mean max HP, because there's no fucking way I'm gonna risk it. Like, what if a crit isn't double damage? And like, how do I word this? Like, okay, she's at 15 HP right now, right? If my mindset is, if she gets crit, she's dead anyways, I'll like go in as long as I have more than 8 HP. And if I end up being wrong, and it crits, and it does like 14 HP, and I only died because I didn't heal all the way, I'm crying. You know what I mean? Like, that's horrible. Yeah, it would be really bad. Really bad. So, what's cool about this game, and I think this is how it works for every Fire Emblem game, unless they implement something differently, is like, because each character has a name here, right? And each named character has like a stat spread gain that is chosen, right? Like, it's not RNG stat gain, I think, question mark, don't quote me on that. So like, the cleric I'm leveling to level 20, her stats will gain at the same rate every time. So this isn't better in G, what I will talk about later. This is intent behind her design. And it will be maddening for me, but also funny for you once I talk about the stat spread gain she gets, okay? Anyways, here I am. I'm using the Thief. Thieves are really not that good. They have high luck and speed, so they're good for like getting items and like getting lucky on like crits, and I think crits are behind luck stat. I think they're also behind not getting crit. But they're definitely behind dodging. So I want to get him max level because they can kind of just get like 1 or 2 tapped randomly. They're not safe, so I'm trying to increase their likelihood to live. I'm more worried about them dying randomly than other units. And then, again, there's enemies in the top left here. The boss will not step away from the castle unless you're... I don't think he ever will. I think if he has a physical weapon, I think he just attacks like right in front of you. A one tile. And if he has a throwing weapon, or shooting weapon, he'll attack, or magic, he'll attack 2 tiles away. But I don't think he ever goes off. And then these enemies here in the top left, besides the boss, have like a range, like a detection range, like when they notice you and when they will start going to you to attack. That's why I'm like barely bringing them up here now, you know? Just moving them 1 tile by 1 tile, like kind of getting like a feel here. But I do, again, want to do my XP correctly. Yeah, so this guy noticed me, now he's coming up. And Doga my goat. Holy fuck. You're so goated. Probably would be much harder the first 4 chapters without this guy. Or at least the first 3. He did his damage. And now I'm gonna go steal the kill with my thief here. You know, here I am grinding again. And, yeah. I think, sorry for the yawn, especially if you're watching the video, you're probably not too entertained. Yeah, it's not for the level of my streams, but oh, if I decided not to edit the video to cut out me stepping away, I decided to just leave it, then I will warn you, I'll be standing up soon to get my mother's coffee and my own. But we have reached the point where it's a bit difficult to talk about anything. I kind of just make shit up. Here's the guy I'm recruiting. I mentioned earlier, this house, Mark, has been recruiting. Oh, I suppose I can actually read the, how do I explain that? Oh, nice achievements, hey? Oh, fuck, how do I word it? Like, the manual has, like, a story thing. Again, because, you know, you read the manual, you get some story. I can actually read that now. I might reread it when I go back to, like, chapter 1 for some achievements, but I'll put it on screen. Probably, I feel like I should, again, I know it's, Cito Lazysino, but part of this is me wanting to show you something cool, right? Or something I find interesting and cool. So I do, wanna show a bunch of things, you know? Here we go. Come on, is this it? It's in Japanese. Sure, I'll show this too. Fucking map. Oh, the map is dope. Yeah, I'll show that on screen as well. Maybe I'll just start showing the whole fucking manual here. On screen for you guys. Oh, here we go. I have to... Yeah, this is weird. You have to download the manual from Nintendo. That's fucking odd. Okay, here we go. A land plunged into darkness. Long ago, the Shadow Dragon Medius and its imperial army swept through the continent of Arachnia. Oh, no, sorry, Archania, leaving fear and despair in their wake. The Dollar Empire's fearsome might brought the kingdom of Arachnia to the brink of annihilation. Just as hope seemed extinguished, one ray of light shone upon the faces of the people. An Atlian youth, Henri, grasped the holy sword Falchion, hard won after a perilous journey, defeated Medius. The Arachnian forces rebounded after Medius's defeat, and its empire, too, soon collapsed. The land once again found peace, and Arachnia was rebuilt. The kingdom of Atlia was established, with Henri as its first king. Other countries rose on the continent. But now that 100 long years have passed, Medius wakes. Medius rebuilt his empire by allying with Grusson and Macedon. Seeing a chance to further his schemes, the Dark Pontifex Garnet lent Medius his aid, and together the two launched an attack on the kingdom of I forgot to say it, or how I said it. Archania. Archania. Launched attack on the kingdom of Archania. Medius had bolstered his strength with that of Grust's most famous general, Camus. Camus? And soon Archania's castle was lost. Atlia's king, Cornelius himself, a direct descendant of the hero Henri, set out with Falchion in hand and Medius in his sights. Betrayed by his allies in Graw, however, Cornelius fell and Falchion was lost. Aided by his sister, Elise, the young prince of Atlia, Marth was able to flee to the island kingdom of Talos with his guardian Yagan and others. Princess Kada and her people welcomed him warmly, but soon Marth's dreams turned to liberation for Atlia. Just as Marth turned 16, pirates from Galdar, who had aligned themselves with Dor, landed and captured the castle of Talos. Kada fled the castle to seek Marth's aid. With the few remaining Atlian soldiers at his side, he set out towards the castle and his destiny. There you go. Okay. Now let's talk about what's happening on screen, and then I'll stand up. I'm now surrounding a boss. Bosses are no joke in this game. If I remember correctly, castles give you a 30% chance to dodge, I think it is. And maybe some stat upgrades, I'm not sure about that. Well, it's rather 30% increased chance for the enemy to miss, I think is the better description. Like the idea, like if you're in water, like the water is moving, you know? I think the castle is like hard to hit someone because, I don't know, there's fucking like... I don't know. They know the layout, there we go, you know? You see, look how much damage I'm taking. I'm getting concerned here. I jumped the gun. What I should have done is surround him with every single enemy, and then put it in a position where, like, I can attack with as many as I can. Like, fill every possible tile possible. Every possible tile to attack with 1 tile attacker and then 2 tile attackers. But I jumped the gun. I did this too fast. And it's at this point I realize this is not good, because this right guy to the boss, I think his name is Oguma, is at half HP, so I'm really scared for him to die. Remember, we are now 46 minutes deep. And that chicken bone right now, because, okay, he wasn't half HP. Well, I think I was scared of him attacking twice. Let me see. Okay, so I think at this, I probably didn't realize he only attacked once. I was really scared. Because I always forget if enemies attack once or twice. It's like compatibility dependent, I think. Like, if you give a sword to like a guy on a horse, or someone who can use a sword, but it's not their preferred weapon, they only attack once. But if it's their preferred weapon, they attack twice. I think that's how it works. Maybe not for every unit, but a few. Yeah, because here's another one. Like, there's crossbows and bows, I think, there's a difference there. I'm not sure again. I don't fucking know everything about this game. In fact, I feel like I don't know anything, but here I am, see? Oh, I forgot to mention, the castles is a tile that also passively heals. It does have RNG healing, but it has increased numbers. I think the lowest heal amount is like 4 or 5. It's crazy. Rerunning this game must suck, by the way, with the fucking bosses RNG. And then with like 30% miss chance, plus like the miss chance from luck from the boss itself. And then there's like stats given with fucking like equipment and like weapons that can increase shit like that too. I bet it's horrible. I'm probably going to have to reset like an hour of progress at one point because of this. Oh my god, I was hoping this guy would kill her. Hoping. And she does no fucking damage. Oh my god, dude, I was like, you missed. I was so pissed. And then she had hit and no damage. I was like, oh my god, dude. It was... Yeah, I've never been this stressed. That's not true. I've never felt the effects of stress impact me so much. And to be fair, I don't really think that's a fair comparison because the chicken bone. But it's the fact that the chicken bone's there, right? How stressed I am. And I can also confirm it's still there. My esophagus, I can feel it as I'm talking right now. It's not very comfortable. Not sure if I mentioned that earlier when I said the coffee, but yeah. But I'm so worried. Like, you don't understand how much I'm willing to waste my fucking time. Like, it's more than losing in, at this point, 50 minutes of progress. It's more than that. It's the idea that I know I'm willing to go back and do 50 more fucking minutes. You know, like, someone who loses 50 minutes and just fucking quits. You know, I mean, you could spin it in a way where it's like, well, now there's no way to make that 50 minutes worth it. You can say something like that, but like, at least they don't have to deal with it again. You know what I mean? They gave up. You know, they're out. Me, I'm willing to risk the 50 minutes every fucking time. And again, I'm using, like, frame advance to speed shit up. So, if you were to do this legit... Oh, I used the guy I recruited. He's a mage. He's, like, OP, but I really didn't want to risk dying here. And I saw that, I was like, this needs to hit. No, that's not true. I wanted it to hit because I didn't want to use Marth. I think that was it. I wanted him to get XP. Marth is so OP. Oh, and the iron hold on. This is the first time I rewind. The only one I'm willing to do. Look at my durability on this weapon. 1. The iron sword has 1 durability. Marth usually attacks twice. I think he will only attack here once. So this needs to hit. This has to fucking hit, or I'm risking someone dying. And it hit. Thank God. Thank fuck. Yeah, sorry, Mars, not Marth. Oh, here's another stupid thing about the game. If I'm remembering correctly, I could be wrong. Again, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I think you can only... I know you can only hold 4 items, but I think if your inventory is full with 4 items, and you kill an enemy, that will give you an item. There we go. Weapon level. That's it. The only stat I raised at level 5. When an enemy drops an item, which I don't think is RNG. I'm gonna cry if this game has RNG for weapon drops. I'll have to like fucking restart chapters just to get something. You don't get the item. It just disappears. Oh, too bad. I could be wrong. I could just be put in the storage tent. But, yeah. So we're at the point here where there's nothing else to do but use the buildings that have things to do. And just grind. Again, I don't have to do this, but, how do I word this? People might see this as a bit scummy, or, you know, I'm playing a bit of a pussy, which is, I mean, I don't know. Is it a pussy to risk an hour of progress? That's kind of up to you. But I don't find much, problem with, getting my clerics to max level, especially because I'm the same guy that would be willing to just get my character's XP to max level at the arena. This is just a safer way. If you really want me to waste 200 hours of my life, that's not... Thanks, I guess? I mean, you want to hate me that much? But... But most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, with achievement sets, and retro achievements, I could be wrong about this, but to me, the retro achievement sets is like a reflection of like how the community feels and thinks about what the game should be awarding medals to, like achievements. So let's like think of the word not in the game context, but just an achievement. This is an achievement. You have achieved something in the realm and context of Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light, right? And it depends on how hardcore the community thinks of it, how much the community is worth, or willing to make something harder. Like, do they value the first Fire Emblem game to challenge you on that? And to me, this is within the confines of this, right?
this idea. In some Fire Emblem retro achievement, I only saw one, but I would imagine there's others. There's a turn limit. Each time I end my turn, it counts up. There is a beat the game within this many turns achievements in some games, and this game doesn't do that. This retro achievement that doesn't have that. And if they ever make a subset, which for those who are not familiar with retro achievements or have forgotten, well, I guess I should say that too. There's some unks here. Please visit retroachievements.org. It sounds exactly like what it is. It's achievements made for retro games, purely community. They work with emulators. They even work with, you know those, like tools to like attach to hardwares, that people make, like attach to your NES or your 3DS. They even work with things like that to implement achievement gain off of hardware. That's so cool. It's so cool. Most of the time it's like modded systems. Like I think like a couple of months ago, like the 3DS kind of popped off because someone like made like a better 3DS. But like, yeah, I mean it's just better. Right? It's like cheaper as well. Here I am putting Night Kill, fuck that is, into the storage. I don't know what it does. Maybe I'll search it up, maybe I won't. Yeah, so please, unks in the crowd, in the cinema seats, please fucking check it out. It's so cool. It's so cool. It adds replayability. And back to the conversation I was saying, you'll see, the appeal to some sets are like, well, as it sounds, it's not the main set, right? The main set is like, I don't know. Again, like I try to explain how achievements come to be. So you have to be first acknowledged by like the community leaders, moderators, that you are an achievement maker, and then they have you go through like multiple games as like a baby achievement maker, and then you can start working on bigger and bigger things. They work on like little mini games that like have like you make 10 achievements for like a really short game or something, fucking like Elmo's World or some shit, you know. And then you work on like a hack. But oh, I forgot to mention that retro achievements doesn't just do retail games. They do like Chinese ripoffs. They do like demos for games. They do like test builds that like became public either on purpose or not, right? Like surfaced onto markets and like was uploaded online. They make achievements for hacks and mods. It's so cool, and they make achievements for different ports. And this is the coolest thing. I was looking at Dragon Quest, or in the West, Dragon Warrior, the first Dragon Quest game, and there's 3 ports of the game. And the more obscure the port of that game is, the harder the achievements are, right? I find that so cool, because of course you want different achievements for different ports, otherwise why would anyone go for them? Because there's this, like, I mean, if you're doing 100%, or what it's called, master, especially hardcore masters on retro achievement, you're probably interested in doing it for not just every game in the series, but like every port, right? There's a good chance you are interested. I don't know if you would commit to it, but you're like, maybe I will do that. You know, I love this game or whatever. I love this series. So there's this intrigue of wanting to do different achievements, right? That's really cool. It's so cool. I can't wait to do the first Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest game. I'm so excited. I get to play the game 3 times, and also that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible. And I'm not sure how much of this is a hot take, but I've seen people complain about RNG achievements, and I understand why people don't like them. But in my opinion, the achievements are meant to reflect what the game is about, right? Like, again, it's an achievement in the context of the game. And whether it reflects no skill, if you're mastering the game, quote-unquote, and it's this idea of exploring everything in the game as well, right? especially if you start adding different ports with different achievements or like subsets, then it just makes sense to me, you know, like there's an achievement for getting all like the rare items for example, right? Or like at least getting the rarest item, because it's like that's a reflection of the video game, right? All you're doing is putting a name to it. And I know people don't like that, but like again, that's not. We're reflecting the video game. That's what you would just do. Like I wouldn't say to have proper achievements, but it's like I think we start to lose the point a little. And there's arguments to put it in like subsets or more niche ports. I really don't care. Again, it's up to the community. But yeah. And there's like a certain limit, so it's like, okay, we're not doing that. But yeah, if it's like ridiculous, put in a subset. But I mentioned the subsets because I wouldn't mind a subset for Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light, or whatever the name I would prefer to call it. I got that shit memorized. I wouldn't mind it. I'm gonna learn a lot about this game, and I'll be real, I don't think I explored everything in this achievement set. Or rather, I don't explore the difficulty of this game in the achievement set, like how far you can push it. You know, like, maybe only use specific units for like a stage or two, or like the whole playthrough. You can beat the game in a specific amount of turns, right? Like, that seems cool. But again, that is like extra, you know, that's like... You don't have to do everything. But if they do it, I think that'd be worth it for the first Fire Emblem game. I mean, look at where the Fire Emblem is right now, right? It's impressive. How big the series is, where we are. And for those who don't know, which is probably all of you who's watching this, I mean, again, I might have some onks. Sorry if that's offensive, by the way. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm an onk too. You know, not really, but everyone calls me an onk. I think one of my Twitch chatters, the stretch, he went, "You might be the same age as me, but you act like an onk," right? You are an onk. There's a stark difference. I'm like, yeah, I am an onk. This is true. But yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, I've properly illustrated my excitement for this. I think there's something I didn't say. That I went on a little rant about and then never went back to it. Shit, maybe what was it? I think I went back and said it. Oh, I guess, yeah, okay. So again, what I just explained, having subsets, yeah, I think there should be a subset that makes it so, like, I don't do what I'm doing right now. Or maybe not specifically this, but like, quote-unquote having the intent or like the valor of playing it quote-unquote properly. Right? I wouldn't mind that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm playing the game to what retro achievements allows me to do in the capacity. And it's... I worded that wrong. I don't know what I'm trying to say now. I'm just doing... I'm within the limits of what this achievement set is doing, and I don't think it goes against beating the game in terms of being impressive, if it's impressive at all. I don't know if it is. I mean, I guess at this point, anyone my age beating a fucking retro game is impressive to older people, because nobody would even give this game a chance, really, let alone like beat it, right? And then let alone a hardcore mastering and retro achievements, Jesus. But you know, I'm doing the achievement set legit. So yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if I piss anyone off with this, again, I'll probably get like 5 views or something. My bad, bro. But if you wanna... I'm not gonna tell you stop complaining about that, you have your own values, but if you truly want these values to be realized, you know, to be respected, and acknowledged, or at least, like, used and followed under this game, I truly do encourage you to make the retro achievement subset. I would love that. I will do it. On God, I will do it. Unless it's impossibly hard. Don't remember, you don't want to make something bullshit. We're still trying to have fun here. And you're still trying to reflect what the game is trying to be, you know? Like, don't go too far. But yeah, I'd love it, man. I would love it. I'm a sweat, man. I wanna play these hard things. Okay, at this point, I will be right back, though. Okay, hello? Okay, I realized every time I've come back, I didn't test my mic was working. I'm gonna cry. If, there was a segment where I was muted. Oh, man, that will fucking suck. Because I've somehow spoken this entire time. That's astounding. When I looked at the time for this, I didn't think I'd be able to fucking yap the entire time. Because I can yap. But, and in fact, I just remembered, I forgot to make a disclaimer in the beginning of, like, my concern if I can do this. Because I don't have back and forth with chat. But, you know, I'm the same guy that, like, streamed every single night for 3 hours, no one in chat, like, months. So, I guess it makes sense. But, you know, over Fire Emblem? That's kind of nice. Anyways, I am back with my coffee. I'm using the, what is it, almond cherry macaron? A limited edition flavor for the, I think it's International Delight's 40th anniversary celebration flavor. It was the birthday cake one and almond cherry macaron / macaroon flavor. Anyways, I've realized one thing I failed to point out is every time she levels up, point out the stats. But basically, I think the only stats I have leveled up is speed, which is how many tiles you can move on the map, weapon level, and luck. If you have realized by now, that's not a single point of HP. I don't know what I'm doing here. Probably adjusting my balls. I'm not really sure why I wouldn't be playing. There you go. I had more things to say, but I forgot because I stepped away. But, I should mention, first 3 question mark chapters, I did use a guide, kind of. I didn't use a guide on how to beat it, because, that's lame as fuck. But I did, like, read through it to see if there was any information that I couldn't learn from the manual, I didn't learn from the houses. And I didn't look too hard. I'm okay with missing that. Like, I just am curious, mostly. You know, like, what if I beat this entire game and there's still things I don't know about it that's, like, it isn't really that obscure, it's just missable, right? I think that'd be sad if I didn't learn about it, but... And that's the thing, right? Like, it might be a bit lame to do that, but it's more so, like, my intrigue of the game. I really do want to know more about it. If I miss something and don't understand something, I think that's so sad. I really do. Especially because, since if I beat this, achievement set, and no one makes a subset, rare person who got mad if they even exist, to have heard me say that and have to get mad over it, please make me wrong and have to play this again, but, yeah, I mean, it'd be just lame, right? If I beat it all and I just don't get to do it? Like, it'd be so fucking lame, dude. Or, I don't know that? So sad. But, I mostly use the manual to save time on recruits. I'm fine with not learning how to recruit, people with Marth, because honestly, you should just be trying everything with Marth, right? So I don't need to learn that. I'm gonna learn that by playing. But people are like, oh, bring this specific character to this one chapter
You know, like, how am I supposed to know that? Well, that's with an asterisk. It depends on how good the indication of the unit, or how the indication of the dialogue, how much the dialogue indicates what you're supposed to do. There we go. Or suggests it. Like, the first recruit I got in this chapter, like, just said her fucking name, you know? Where is she? You know, it's that one, that's kind of... But it's just... It's hard to trust old games, is basically the TLDR. It really is. For anyone who does know me, you can understand how inconsistent I am with being smart. I truly do believe I'm quite smart. But that is not 24/7. That is 1 out of 7 times during the week. You know? Lena, that's her name. Right. Alright, I'm gonna drink coffee. I'm sorry, I can't blab. I need help with this chicken bone. Oh my god, that feels so much better. Oh. Okay. It is at this point, with people watching, I think I would like a comment. Actually, not what I was gonna say, but let me say this first. Please do comment for the algorithm, please. I'm gonna say in the announcement too. The best thing you can do for algo is actually say the same exact thing, which is weird, but it's like, I think it's like interest point. Like if a bunch of people are saying the same thing or similar sayings, it's like that topic in the video is popular, you know, more Luxy. You don't necessarily have to do that. You just leave a comment, whatever. I'm sure you have at this point, with either Daisy or like the mention of the chicken bone. But that's not what I'm asking. What I wanted to ask. But what I wanted to ask was how you feel about this. I suppose director's commentary, because there's a lot of thinking here. I mean, at this point, it's not. I'm just like rotating Lena off the tile of being able to get hit every time she got hit, the heal tile, and then moving Julian, my thief, off the heal tile, which is also the same tile that traps the fucking enemy. At this point, it's not thinking, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm watching a video right now. Like, as I'm doing this, I'm watching a video. I think it's about Tekken 8. If it's not, I really don't know what I'm watching. I'm literally just grinding. Like, this is... Oh, I should mention, I love grinding. I really, truly do. I love grinding, okay? Like, I can't overstate how much I do enjoy it. I genuinely can sit down and just grind and do nothing else. Just weapon level at level 10. Truly. I mean, I have, like, there's a game I have, like, 350 hours in, and, like, 300 of those hours is just grinding. I'm not joking. Like, no music, no video. Actually, not all the 300, but, like, 200 of it. No music. No video. In my room, spamming the OK key, the bind for the OK button, the advance button, and then after the fight ends, I move around the overworld until I get a random encounter. Nice dodge. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Here's a sadistic idea for a speedrun. How about another dodge twice in a row? How about speedrunning Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light by getting every single character to max level? That'd be horrible. That sounds horrible. I need someone to do that. And, like, don't just do it once. Like, I need you to try to improve your time. Maybe get, like, 5 PBs. But the reason I said that, SwayRose, it's W. Speed is probably the second best stat in the game. Is there a defense stat? I don't remember. I feel like there is. don't know. I really don't. But, I guess I can't remember. But, besides HP, probably speed. Oh, okay, I should explain weapon level. So, I believe my understanding of weapon level is, like, each weapon has a required weapon level in order to be able to even use it. So if you're under that, you can't use the weapon. I believe clerics and their advanced class as well can learn, not learn, but can equip a weapon, or I guess it's better to say item, because you wouldn't call the staff they have, the cleric, a weapon, even though it is called a weapon. Never mind, I think it's called a staff. I just said that in the menu there. The equipped thing, you can use attacking spells. I believe clerics can end up doing that. So I don't know if Lena, or what her fucking name is, ended up getting any is Lena. And ends up getting attack from leveling up. I haven't paid attention, but you know, it's probably gonna be a deciding thing. Who knows? I would love that my level 20... Actually, I would find it hilarious. My level 20 cleric does, like, only 3 damage at highest level. That would be funny, I'll admit. But, and also would be more fair. I don't think I won't use an attacking weapon for them. Again, that's why I'm doing them. It's a two-way reason. One is, like, they're so squishy, their risk of dying, as I explained earlier. And, like, their wave leveling up is so obnoxious and obtuse that I'm doing this. But it's also because it's like, what are they gonna do at a higher level? Like... think about that. More luck, W. Remember, I'm still risking a crit every time. I'm starting to think, at a certain point here, I can't get crit. Because the enemy's luck stat is too low, and my luck stat is too high. I can't confirm that. But I feel like it just was a low chance already with this matchup, these two. And then it became, like, so low or impossible. Or luck, see? I mean, look how much luck I've gotten. I think I've gotten luck out of, like, 8 level ups. It's insane. Which I might even have good base luck. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that on, sorry, I drink coffee. Next time I play, this game. Which, I'm still deciding. Maybe once a week. Maybe that might be too far apart. Shit, I'm running out of time to talk about everything I wanted to talk about. I'm 10 minutes to say at least 2 things I want to say. One is I realized I never said what to comment. Do you like this commentary thing? Because again, as I was in the middle of explaining, like, I have to think. So, like, I also don't think I would stream this game. And we're gonna get to some grotesque parts of this game in terms for achievements. I mean, like, I think for every single class, there's an achievement to get to level 20. Or, like, their advanced class, too, which you need, like, evolution items to do. So, yeah. There's, some RNG achievements. I'm okay with that. I really don't mind. I can't like, overstate how much that does not matter to me. Like, there's this achievement subset for this series I will be covering eventually, where it is rare drops for every single enemy. And I can't imagine how horrible that's gonna be. I don't mind. I don't mind. So yeah, please leave a comment. Like, tell me. Emuburemu, wink wink. Mr. Blamo. Or Leon, what the fuck your YouTube name is. Change that shit. Come on, bro. You don't change that shit, pissed at you. And, sorry, Daisy, you're still here, and I'm only referring to him. W Stretch, seiazen, or ijiribai. Ijiribai. Yeah, I was doing that yesterday, too, with the fucking chicken bone. Pretty impressive, right? Yeah, if you guys still here, you're fucking dope. Like, I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am gonna ask you guys to, fuck, I don't know if I said it in the beginning. If I was wanting to say, after you guys can go, to, if you're not gonna listen and watch, you just leave the video playing. Don't mute the player, the video player, you have to mute the tab. See? I don't know if your browser supports that, but whatever you do, don't mute the video. YouTube will detect that and mark it as, like, to not record stats. Well, that's how Twitch works, by the way, if you're ever lurking. Never mute the... If you want someone to have a lurker, you want them to get money, do you want them to retain your view in their view recorder, you cannot mute the player, nor can you pause. And then if your tab unloads as well, it won't count. I don't know, they're trying to cut down on, like, bots and shit, which I understand, but it's quite annoying. And, you know, they won't give income to Twitch streamers as well, because you're not being detected, it won't give the ad income. It's fucked up. Yeah. That's what I wanted to say, I'll announce it, whatever. My second thing is what my plan is for the future, you know, in a bright, colorful world where weapon level and speed, nice. In a bright, colorful world where I can keep doing this for as long as I want. What's the plan here? So, I talked about it last stream, but I do plan on doing story off stream. So, you will be seeing Zenless, you'll be seeing Zenless event, you'll be seeing Star Rail, you'll be seeing Star Rail event. And the good thing about the events is I can focus more on the dialogue, right? Like, if you're watching me do that event, you're watching the video. To see me do the event, you're probably more interested in the dialogue than me just randomly Twitch streaming it. Right? Yeah, for example, Daisy doesn't have to watch the fucking Zenless events. You don't have to watch the Star Rail events, right? We're chilling. Most things I'll be doing on Twitch will be like real-time action type shit, or just gameplay, right? Not too much reading. And same with the stories. I think I said that already. We had Zenless, Weathering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, and eventually Neverness to Everness will be covered on the second channel with little to no edits. Emuburemu, I really do encourage reading the story of Neverness to Everness. Or play it yourself if you can't, if you can or can't. Because if you want to watch me do it, I'll eventually cover it. Take your time, you know. Honestly, your focus should be Star Rail more to catch up. But you know, something to consider. Why am I not live right now? I mean, I guess you wouldn't know what time it is for me, but I should be able to reach 1. No, I would be, if I'm live right now, I have an hour left. Which I might still go live after this. I started to do this recording later than I wanted to. But, mostly, like, gathering some information I was talking about here on stream. On this recording. But, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, and then, this is the most important thing. What's important to you, though? Fuck, I can't even ask Era to tell me what I'm not thinking of. Because he's not here. Look, Era, leave a comment. Daisy, how many flinches? How many flinches and nails? The balance of retro games, that's what it was. Strawberry Shortcake, Atari games look just so unk that you wouldn't want to see it. Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, the Blade of Light, I mean, look at this, right? Like, if I play another game right after this that looks just like this, I'm losing you guys. Like, I need a balance of retro games. You know, I need to go from the NES to the DS, back to the NES, the Wii, the Game Boy, to the PS2, to the Sega Saturn, you know, to the arcade, right? Like, I need a balance here, and I need a balance of, like, the genres of games, too. This is... I forgot what exactly this type of genre is. Because it is turn-based, but it's, like, it's map turn-based, you know? And then those have their own separate genres, like, if you know, Sid Meier's Civilization. Right? Like, this has the same concept, but it's, like, management and shit of your city, and, like... But your units still do move on the overworld map. And then I'd want to play, like, Final Fantasy as well, which is, like, a lot of... most Final Fantasy games are actually turn-based content. More of a new thing, where it isn't. I want to play Persona. I want to play Super Mario. I want to play Donkey Kong. I'm talking like old school Donkey Kong. I want to play Mario Bros. Before he got the Super, just like Monkey Ball, you know? I want to play games like Monkey Ball. I want to play games like, Resident Evil. I want to play games like Metal Gear Solid, right? Like, it's like, so I want to balance this all. And any game series I start, I want to finish. And if they ever make a new achievement set for a game that doesn't have it, or they make a subset, I'm going back, right? And, like, I'm the kind of guy that will... for example, was it, I think it was Mr. SwayRose who purchased and gifted me, what the fuck was it called? Etrian Odyssey. The HD remakes. I'm gonna play the non-HD remakes first, through retro achievements, because I want those retro achievements, and then I'm gonna play the... I'm gonna... fucking... Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, I have to rewind. What'd you guys miss? Oh no. I'm so sorry, I accidentally closed. Alright, open up Discord. And stop showing it. Hopefully that wasn't the whole time. I genuinely didn't mean to click that. I was looking at Etrian Odyssey. Is this? This still shows, right? Yeah. I'll explain that. No, I'll explain that. If something's full screen, then it won't load the player. But if something's like windowed and not, then the player will still show up on OBS. Interesting. But yeah, and I'm really excited. I really am. And I've found peace with this. This, to me, I was always worried about streaming this, you know? And, you know, Daisy puts up with me. Julie says, I always say sorry, and then she says sorry. About how we're acting with the game. Because I always feel bad, you know? I do. When I play something I should not give a fuck about. And I can't keep doing it too much. I mean, I know I do whatever I want. Max level, by the way. And not a single HP gain, I think. I missed the beginning, so maybe I got HP at like level 5, but besides that, not a single point of HP. You remember, my biggest concern was how squishy she was. She's still fucking squishy. And then I killed Julian, because remember, I want, oh shit, wow, I didn't remove the pause there. I missed that. Oops. That was me, like, closing my video, because I'm finally at the end. And I got a crit. One more XP for my thief, and now I'm done. Yeah, look. Oh, I'm checking their weapons, see if I want to buy anything. I'm like, no. And then look, this is as simple as, this is all I had to do to end it. Click on the castle, done. Chapter's done. I guess I have to wrap up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my first ever video on the Cito Lazysino YouTube channel. Also, thank you for watching the first Unk Files, whatever the fuck I call this series slash video topic. I'll be seeing you guys later in either a stream or my next video, and hope you guys have a good one. I love you. Bye bye. Oh, should I like my own video? I'm gonna dislike it because it was fast forward. Like, you know, I'm gonna like it because I don't want to tank my own stats, but genuinely, if this was any other person, I would dislike this video. I'm so deadass. Anyways, bye bye.